I've said this many times on this channel. It's a theory of mine. It's been a while since I've shared it though. I never uploaded it to YouTube or anything, but I've mentioned it here and there around, and definitely said it in a few chats, and I've definitely said it on this channel. But of course, my videos, they decay pretty quickly, so there's no video out there so far of me saying this, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Jeannie Mae Crawford did nothing wrong. What I mean by that is there's no hard evidence that Jeannie Mae Crawford was part of the kidnapping of Boone's wife. What I mean by that is the best evidence we could have gotten would have been a confession from Jeannie Mae Crawford. That which we never get, because when you find this so-called evidence planted inside of her locker, Boone has you kill her before she can say that she is innocent. So, what are some pieces of this this theory I got? So, some pieces of it are: if you talk to Manny, you'll find out that Manny is gay. So, what else is there? In Boone's apartment, there's what looks to be a blood. Somebody was injured. There's a knife. I believe there's a knife on the floor, and if not, there's definitely a blood-soaked carpet with a dragging mark. What else do we know? We know when we find Boone's wife, she's not crippled in any way, shape, or form, as far as we can tell. She's just a normal woman. The woman who Boone claims is his wife. You got to keep that in mind too. We never actually talk to his wife, do we? So we don't know for sure that that's his wife. And even if we do talk to his wife, we don't know for sure that she's telling the truth that that's his wife. So, the theory goes. From the beginning, Boone and Manny were in the service together. While in the service, Boone and Manny may have fooled around. They planned, after their retirement as great war heroes, after having committed the genocide of Bitter Springs, which Manny does not want to fess up to, as he is Great Khan by birth. That's another funny thing. Manny, his name is Manny. There's many Khans with normal names. In fact, the only Khan who has an interesting or unique name is Papa Khan. It's very interesting to note because in the NCR, there's a Great Khan who goes by like Apricot or something, and he mentions that the Great Khans give you like the special name after your initiation. Well, my theory is that that NCR soldier kind of made that up, or he ran into a group posing as the Great Khans. So as far as I can tell, the only Great Khans that have a unique name is Papa Khan, the only one that are given a special moniker or whatever. So anyways, how else does this go? Oh yeah, so we're getting back to the track. So Boone and Manny had a time together on the trail and the trails hunting Legion. After some time, Boone and Manny decided that after they retired, they would go find a place to live together. So they did. They worked out this whole plan, even got some of their old friends from the service in on it with them. They got Ranger Andy to help them out in finding a place in Good Springs. I mean, in Novak, sorry, in Novak. In Novak, the plan was for Boone to marry someone and get her pregnant, so that there would be no suspicion of Boone and Manny's forbidden love, which is very forbidden in the NCR, and very, very forbidden for a war hero, the greatest war hero that the NCR has ever known, to participate in. The greatest two war heroes. Okay, so we know that's what we got so far. Next, what happens? Well, after impregnating Boone's wife, Boone discovers maybe he doesn't feel that same way about Manny. Maybe that was just how they felt while they were lonely on the trail. Maybe Boone was just gay for the stay, as some say. Manny, of course, is, there was something awakened in him that he knew was a part of him. Boone, on the other hand, after sleeping with his wife, he discovered, well, maybe that's not really my thing. So, Boone, of course, having no longer these romantic feelings for Manny, abandons the plan of living together forever in Novak. Manny, of course, still feels great loyalty for Boone, despite no longer being able to participate in a romantic relationship. Boone, of course, still feels great loyalty to Manny, so he's not going to have him killed on his great escape. Ranger Andy is an old friend of theirs. He's there to check up on them, but he knows them quite well. And he's not going to tell anything that they get up to. In fact, he might get up to their hijinks as well. So what happens? Well, one night... Oh, by the way, I just want to mention really quickly that forgery is a necessary skill in the NCR. In a world ruled by paperwork and bureaucracy, forgery is a very necessary skill. Okay. So, either Boone, Manny, or Ranger Andy. I would guess Ranger Andy because he wears the newer uniform, so he would know how the newer paperwork looks like. One of them write this note, a legal document of sale of a slave, of Boone's wife. They forged this document. If you ever went to the headquarters where the Legion stay, they don't keep major documents. In fact, most of their documents are maps. There's no reason for them to keep documents on such a scale, as their world is more fluid. Things change. They don't believe in the letter of law the way we do. So we believe in history that is written. The Legion does not necessarily believe history and the way of life is written. They more believe that it's ever-evolving, ever-changing, that the story changes as we move on into the future. More that history evolves, it grows. Anyways, so paperwork and documentation of sale is very much an NCR idea than it is a Legion idea. Otherwise, we would find tons of bills of sales to all the slaves of the Legion. Okay, so we got that out of the way. It's very unlikely that the Legion would make documentation of each sale. Now what? Okay, so now we know that Boone's wife was, even though Crawford said Boone's wife was prickly, Crawford is a friend of Boone's wife. We know that Crawford's nosy. She likes to know what the people of the town are up to. So what's Boone's solution? Kill Crawford. She's the only woman who might be able to figure out, put two and two together if Boone were to make his escape. The only woman who would put two and two together that would, more than likely, let somebody else know. See, Ranger Andy probably wouldn't let anybody know about Boone and Manny's romantic affair. Crawford probably would. Boone's wife probably would, seeing as how she's carrying his child. When he goes and runs for the road, she might say a thing or two. So now what do we got to... Now what? So what does Boone do? He arranges his wife's kidnapping, done by him and Ranger Andy and Manny. During the process of the kidnapping, Ranger Andy is injured in the leg by Boone's wife. It's the apocalypse. Nobody's just going to let themselves be kidnapped. So Ranger Andy sustains a crippled leg due to the struggle that Boone's wife put up. Boone dresses as a Legion and sells his wife to a Legion camp. And then you come along. Now, you were not the person he was expecting. If I had to guess, he may have been expecting maybe someone like Ulysses. Someone who has a bit of a grudge. But Ulysses is, of course, in Lonesome Road, so Ulysses does not show up. Instead, you show up. And when you show up, even though you're not the guy he's looking for, you'll do the job well. You look like you're ready to hit the trail. You look like you're ready to do some killing. You're the kind of guy that Boone's looking for. Boone's not looking to get buddy-buddy. He's just looking to kill some people and have someone tag along. So, that's the whole theory. Part of what feeds into this theory is that when you ask No Bark Noonan, who is a big fan of Mary Crawford, he's found often lurking outside of her window, peeking into her window and seeing her her daily life at work. Is he a stalker? I don't know. I think he's more of a peeping Tom and a secret admirer. Anyways, so No Bark Noonan, he's either part of the Enclave or he's old enough to have been around people like the Enclave, so he knows a thing or two about snitching. He knows that snitching gets you killed. So he's not going to be forthright and tell you everything that happened. But he lets on kind of loose. He says, mole men, what don't be able to wear blonde wigs, come in the middle of the night and snatch women. What he's saying is, mole men as in men with secrets, men undercover, men of secrecy, come in the middle of the night. Bald men, under secrecy of night, come and kidnap Boone's wife. Well, who's the only bald man in Novak? The only bald man in Novak is Boone. So that also feeds into that. So that's all I got so far. I think it's it's kind of shaky, but it's a decent theory or lorecraft or whatever. By the way, feel free to enjoy this theory, but don't go telling it to the popular YouTube channels. They haven't really played the game the way people like you and I have. They haven't been here. They don't deserve to get a whole bunch of views just based on all this work that people like us have put up. So, yeah. And I don't think they get it. Like, they could, of course, parrot it, but I don't think they get it the way you and I do. Anyways, that's going to be all for now. Goodbye, and thank you for tuning in. Oh, by the way, this is a charity stream, so if you can, please check out the link in the description and consider donating to one of the charities. Both of those charities help out with the wildlife. We all love wildlife and the ecosystem, and those can help to help out the wildlife. So that's going to be all for now. Goodbye, everyone.